Dodge Grand Caravan. There's a radio antenna on the outside on the right front. Let's take a look at some of the great features of this great vehicle called Dodge Grand Caravan. On the left hand side you will see the emblem right here that says Grand Caravan. It has the gear stick in the front, just next to the steering wheel, and it's not at the it's not on the right hand side next to the seat. To close the side door of a Dodge Grand Caravan, there is one switch on the side of the door, and it just it's not a on and off kind of thing, but it's just like a toggle button. All you have to do is press one time, and the door closes. And from inside, when you press it one time, the door will open up. The driver or the passenger in the front seat can open the side doors from inside by pressing the buttons on the top. There's the mirror, and you go further up, you would see the three buttons: the left door, the right door, and the trunk. And also there is an on and off button. This one, if you turn it off, then the passengers cannot open the doors from inside. Like, kids want to just rush out. So if you turn this off, then that would take care of locking the doors from inside. It's like a child lock. All right. So when I press that button, that door would close. And these buttons are toggle buttons. They are not on or off. It just press one time to open, press again to close. Similarly with the trunk. Right now, if I press the trunk button, the trunk that's open right now will close down. All right. To lock the car, press the lock button on the key remote once. To unlock the car, press the unlock button once on the key remote. And when you press the unlock button, it only opens up the driver's door first. And then you can go ahead and open the door and then press the unlock key on the side of the driver's door to unlock all the other three doors. To unlock the side doors using the key remote, press the side door button 2 times, like it says, ×2, and the side door would open up. Similarly, to close the door, press the same button twice, and it will close. If you want to remote start the car, you need to press the lock button 1 time, and then press this remote start button twice. So like lock and that's how the remote start works. And in case you want to turn off the remote start, all you do is press the remote start button 1 time and it turns off. And of course there's a panic button. When you want to find the car, you press the panic button. Alright, to open the trunk, press the trunk button twice. Alright. Fuel door. I was thinking that if the car is locked, on the fuel door there is no key, there is no lock system or anything. It is just a little cover, and you just open it with a finger. And I was under the impression that if the car is completely locked, like it is right now, it would also somehow, internally there would be a lock that would lock the fuel door also, but that's not true. Even when the car is completely locked, in a Dodge Grand Caravan, the fuel door is still open, and even the inner lid can be opened up. So I don't know why we let security a little, why we let it go on the security side with this feature of the car. So there is no lock on the fuel door at all. That's what it looks like, unless I'm missing something. Also, when you can open the trunk with the, like I said, by pressing the trunk button twice. But when the car engine is on and you're using the trunk, and suppose the key is on the ignition, in the ignition, I don't think there is a switch, at least I didn't find a switch on the trunk that would just turn off the trunk, like close the trunk. So usually in a Honda Odyssey or other cars I've seen, there's a button on the top over here on the trunk, but in a Dodge Caravan I have not seen. I couldn't find it maybe. All right, so I'm gonna use the remote to close the trunk, and there goes down the trunk. All right, besides the front passenger windows and the mid-row passenger windows, there's also the third row windows. Usually in other cars this doesn't open up, but in Dodge Caravan, in a Dodge Grand Caravan, this window can be opened up a little bit. I'll quickly show you how. When you open on the doors on the left side of the driver, there is a switch, there is a button on the over here, and when you pull this button up, it opens the window. Okay, 1 second. I think the car needs to be turned on. 1 second. Yeah, the car needs to be turned on. When you press this button down, it opens the windows, and when you pull it up, it closes the windows, like it is shown here. So I'm going to show it to you out here. When I press it down, it opens the windows up a little bit. So when these rear windows are open, it looks like this. I mean, it just opens up a little bit on the side. It doesn't roll down, roll up, or anything. It just, is pushed away from the body of the car a little bit. And when you pull it up, when you pull this button up, it just takes the windows back in the original position. It's right, and it's airtight. All right, that's how the rearmost windows work. And now, real quick on the navigations and the front dashboard. I mean, the screen that you have, it's a touch screen that you have here. For navigation, you just touch the navigation button here, and it says where to. You touch where to, and it will ask you whether do you have an address, and you type in address, or if your home is already configured, it will take you home there, and any points of interest like a regular GPS. And recently found or recently visited places would show up there, favorites, and certain intersection. If you just know the intersection name, just know the names of two roads, it'll take you to the intersection. So when you touch when you touch the address, it'll give you the options where if you're traveling to a different country, so you need to touch that, and then it is self-explanatory. City, postal, and wherever you want to go. So just a quick example here. So I'm going to say, if you just type 2 letters, it knows what, I mean, kind of figures out. It is intuitive, and I can say that number, and to delete, you can press this button on the top, backspace. Oops, it should not take decimal. It asked me for the number. I gave in the number, and I can mention the street name. So it knows I'm talking about Hamilton. So Hamilton Avenue, Court, Boulevard, Park. So Hamilton Road. So 390 Hamilton Road. That's what I wanted. And all you have to do is press go.
Proceed to highlighted route.
Okay, so it supersedes the other audio that's going on. And quickly about media, when you press media, it gives you the options of discs and hard disk drive. If you want to remove the CD or load it, you press this load button, and that would bring out the CD. I'm sorry about the illumination here. And then when you close it, just press the load button again. And if you want to switch to media, you can listen to whatever's there on the disc, or you can listen to whatever's there on the hard disk drive that way. You can also connect your phone with your Bluetooth. To connect your Bluetooth, all you do is press media, and then if you have your phone paired,
exit.
In order to turn off the navigation, all you need to do is press this stop button right here, and when you press that, it takes away, it stops the navigation. When you're not wearing a belt, like you can hear just now, the indicator, the beep will keep playing. I mean, the vehicle will keep beeping unless and until you buckle up. And it also does the same for the passenger side, if the passenger is not buckled up. And there is no, I mean, it constantly beeps. It waits for 1-2 seconds and it starts beeping again. Couple of seconds and starts beeping again. There is no gap of, you know, like 20 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever. You can hide the navigation, or you can keep the navigation displayed. If you know, I mean, suppose if you're on a long stretch of a route, you can hide the navigation by pressing hide nav.
Turn right, then enter roundabout.
Once the navigation is stopped, the GPS will still show the map and where you are currently, and you can also hide that away by clicking on hide nav right here. Okay, real quick, on the steering wheel, there are some buttons that help you with letting you know how much fuel there is in the car, that what is the distance that the vehicle can travel with the remaining fuel in the vehicle. For that, you can just press this back button, and whatever is on the dash screen, if you press this back button, it'll come back to the to this kind of a menu, and then you can use this navigation button up and down, and to enter you can press this one. So right now it is on vehicle speed. If I press the up arrow, it should go to the fuel economy. There it is, fuel economy. And when I press this play button, it should enter fuel economy. When it enters the fuel economy menu option, there it tells me this DTE. I think that would be something like distant to end, like how much, I mean, before the fuel ends completely, how much, what is the distance that the vehicle will travel. So right now it's just showing as 100 miles. All right, and that's the average fuel economy. It's showing up like it's how many miles per hour it is giving you, miles per gallon. Miles per gallon actually. So when this DTE would keep showing some number until you see, I'm just standing in one place and I just used 1 mile worth of gas. So this particular number will disappear after 36, 37. I mean, once you are less than 37 miles away, once the fuel capacity, once the range is only 38 miles, the DTE value would change to low fuel. Once it is less than 37 miles, it does not show you the actual value. It just says low fuel. So you don't, and you keep driving, you don't know whether it's 30 miles worth of fuel still in the car, or 20 miles, or 25, or 15, or 10, or whatever. It just says two words like low fuel. And to come out of that fuel economy menu item, you press this back button. So when I press this back, it comes back here, and then you can go in other options like speed, and press the play button to go in, and it you can switch between miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So just keep pressing the play button. It can switch from miles per hour or kilometers per hour depending upon the country you are in. All right, and then you can press the back button again to come out of fuel speed. Then you can go to the next option like trip info. This is a standard feature. You can set your A, B, and C trip options. When you press the play button, it will reset to 0. Alright, and to come out, press the back button again. Back to come out. And then vehicle info, you can go in there and it'll give you some details about the temperature, the coolant temperature, and the oil temperature. And I'm using the up and down arrow, up arrow and down arrow over here to see oil pressure. It's pound square inch. So it gives you engine hours, how many hours has the engine been running, and so that's the lowermost option. And I'm going up now. Coolant temperature. So yeah, there are 3 of.
Alright, just a quick word on how to preset your radio stations in a Dodge Grand Caravan. Of course, you click on radio to get to the radio option if you're anywhere else. And once you are on the radio option, you know a particular you're thinking of a particular station and you want to preset them on the right. What you do is, if this is not showing up, you touch presets. If this is blank like this, touch presets, and you will see the stations that are already preset by default. And suppose you want the first preset to be say NPR, for example. What you do is first tune to NPR. Like you can use direct tune, for example 89.7 is NPR. You touch direct tune, and these are the stations that they start with. Whatever direct tune whatever station you're thinking of has to start with these numbers, because there are no stations that are in range right now that start with 2, 3, 4 or 0, because they are disabled. So everything starts with 1, 5, 6, 7 or 8 or 9. So I'm going to say 897. So when I say 897, one second. Okay, sorry, earlier I was in AM. So make sure you're on the right band, whether it is AM or FM, frequency modulation or amplitude modulation, or you also have the option of satellite. You can use satellite. I think in this vehicle, not many this Sirius or satellite version is not set up, but you can listen to some of the ads that they play there. But let's get the preset done on FM. So when you touch presets over here, you will see that there are 12 presets that are allowed. You can use this navigation arrows here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and when you touch this down arrow, you'll see 5, 6, 7, 8, and then down arrow again, you'll see you have until 12. So you can set up 12 stations on the presets. And let's say I want to change the preset number 1 to 89.7. Let's say I don't want it number 2, I want number 1. So first I make sure I'm on FM, then I touch direct tune. Direct tune is used when you know the station number directly. Otherwise you can use scan. Whenever you scan, it will go through all the stations that are available. Here I'm going to say 8, and again you see only stations that begin with 8, 9 and 1 are available. So I say 89 and 7, and then it just went to 89.7, and I've got the station there. And now what I'm going to do, I don't want the keyboard anymore, so I touch I go back. I use the back arrow here, and I'm on the station that I need to preset. So I'm going to touch preset over here, and I want 1 to be 89.7, not on 2. So I do a long press on 1. When I touch it, I don't leave it for 5, 6, 3, 4 seconds. So right now you see 89.7 is running here, but when I press this long time, like 3, 4, 5 seconds, you see that changes to 89.7. Okay. So similarly, I can go to any other station, and suppose I like 90. One quick example, 97.9, and I want this to be preset to 2. All I do is long press on 2. So this should change to 97.9. there you go. All right, that's how we preset in a Dodge Grand Caravan. Thank you so much.